EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present opening round coverage of the Open Championship. Welcome to the Open Championship, the oldest major in golf. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews combined with the Open Championship, it's bathed in history.
The golf course is magnificent. It just reeks of all the great players that have played the game. Pick your hero, whether it's a Bobby Jones, a Nicklaus, a Rory McIlroy, a Tiger Woods. All the greats have been there and played this marvelous course. It stood the test of time. And even the routing, the old 9 holes out, turn around and 9 holes in. It's marvelous.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, the beauty of the game, the changing conditions. You've played it all over the world, and you don't play it inside a dome, do you?
Yeah, anybody can play on a fine, still day, but what separates the good from the great is actually days like today. That's when that little extra attention to detail, the better strike, the better swing, is certainly going to pay dividends. This looks like it's going to find the target.
And that one ends up about 25 feet from the hole. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Oh, my gosh, that hurts. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Still playing even for the day after the par. Let's check in on the action at hole number 14. Frank, how would you assess this first round performance from our featured golfer?
I'd say commercial, solid, very professional. If this is the worst round they score all week, it's not such a bad round.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. He's set up for his third shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Not an easy one, 20 feet away. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break. Even par currently.
Drops it, and he's at even par. Time to tee it up here at the 15th as we begin the closing stretch here at the Open Championship of the Old Course at St. Andrews.
There's a big steeple in the distance, so even when it starts to fog in a bit, if you can keep your eye on that, that's a good line off the tee. And you've got to keep it, your tee shot, just short of this sort of heather, big crop of heather down the left side. It still leaves you a lengthy second shot, but really that's the safest way to try and play this par 4, 15th. Very good par 4. Oh, that's fine. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That will be a great look at birdie. And getting ready for the putt. A birdie will send him to 1 under on the leaderboard. Frank, the 16th hole, there was a time in my life when I was in 4th grade, I would have really enjoyed hitting the principal's nose. But that's not a good thing here?
Well, I'd like to think you graduated past 4th grade, but and if you did, then you'd be very aware of the principal's nose. You'd hit it left, it'd be a little longer in for your second shot.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Back-to-back birdies. We'll see. I tell you, he's setting himself up for a good weekend. Former college #1 makes another birdie. Frank, so many famous landmarks on this hole. The hotel on the right, you want to avoid that. The bunker on the left, and then the stone wall beyond the road.
Yeah, there's all those features is one of the reasons why no one would be allowed to design a hole like this today. It also makes it not only unique, but I think that's the greatness of the hole, is that all those problems you're very aware of. It's just, can you avoid them?
A good 200 yards away from a good lie in the fairway. So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. Not a gimme, but well within his range. So close. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
So with that, the score is now at even par. Headed for home now with a Royal and Ancient behind the green, a chance to cross the Swilken Bridge, just as Jack Nicklaus did, as Arnold Palmer did, as so many of the legends of the sport have done. This is a special place in the game. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
How'd you like that strike?
That was top of the tree.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. You have to make those from that distance. That hurts. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, it really was vintage St. Andrews today in so many ways. Just a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, the old course has so many great memories. Obviously, when it crowns the 2015 Open champion, it will add another great name to its already impressive roster. But for anybody to play this great golf course, it's a chance to be linked with the past and the future of the game.
Couldn't have said it better myself, pal. And with that, for my colleague Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner for EA Sports saying so long from the home of golf, St. Andrews. EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present second round coverage of the Open Championship. Frank, when you come to the old course at St. Andrews for the Open Championship, you can just about hear the legends whispering to you. So many of the greats have made their mark right here.
It's the oldest, it's the best, and it's the one course that everybody, no matter where they're born, wants to play. Every great player has played St. Andrews, and that will be well in advance after our time, Rich. It's just something special. When you see it and play it, you'll see the reason why.
That's another green hit in regulation, and that has been the story all day, just wearing out the center of that club face. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Just a couple of feet. That's how you maintain momentum, make those putts for par. Frank, now at the par 3 8th, and how challenging is this hole?
Well, it's called short on the scorecard, but massive green. The problem here is trying to hit it close. A lot of little subtle breaks and undulations in this green, and often you see long, long birdie putts here.
That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Frank, we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. Rounding out the opening 9 here at St. Andrews, and Frank, this par 4 features a couple of fairway bunkers that players will have to contend with.
Yeah, this is a fun hole when you first stand on that tee and look at it. You see those bunkers smack bang in the middle of the fairway. The last bunker there in the middle is called the end.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Has it now sitting at 2 under par for the tournament. Starting the second 9 here at the Open Championship, Frank, with a par 4 10th.
Well, this is another chance really to drive a par 4, especially if you're a game, but you've got to hit that tee shot a little left of those 2 bunkers that are just short and right of this green. But course down the left, you've still got to be careful. Don't just flail away. But this hole, got a great name. It's called Bobby Jones.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
That might go unnoticed, Rich, but that birdie just sneak inside the top 15.
Frank, another famous hole, this time the par 311.
Yeah, this hole was made famous by the left bunker, which is called the Hill, where Bobby Jones, when he first played St Andrews, couldn't get the ball out of the bunker, so in the end he actually ripped up his scorecard. A lot's changed since then, but the hole hasn't lost its luster.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look.
11 feet away. Ooh, that hurts. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
Did the job right there. Don't forget third round coverage coming your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long for now. EA Sports RNA are proud to present third round coverage of the Open Championship.
Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here in the first hole.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Well, that's a tough break with that miss right there. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Good effort and good par putt. Trying to get the round off to a good start. Frank, we're at the second hole, and what's ahead?
Well, the ideal tee shot just a little over that gorse bush in front of you, which is down the right side. That's the best angle in. But it also brings in a little bit of trouble. But if that pin is anywhere towards the middle of this double green, then really you want to be coming in from the right side.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Second shot, good look at the green. Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Starting to move on this leaderboard now, Frank.
It's got a nice look to it. Like a who's who.
Frank, talk about the strategy off the tee here at the third.
Well, you can drive the ball pretty close to this green, Rich. It's shorter than the second hole. Just hit it down the right side, but try and avoid those little pot bunkers.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Starting off the round very well here, Frank, hitting fairways.
Yeah, like any sport, really, you've got to get off to a good start. We always have that unattainable goal of perfection, but really that's what drives us forward.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Excellent read for birdie to move to 5 under for the tournament. At the 4th hole now, and Frank, this one looks as though it might require a little bit of club selection off the tee. What are we looking at, partner?
Well, there is 2 ways to play the 4th off the tee. You can hit it down the right side, but it really starts to narrow up and it's slightly shorter. Most players go towards the middle of the golf course and try and get it on that plateau. But this, certainly the first hard hole we see at St. Andrews.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Birdie try up next. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. This would give him the par. Doesn't dig into the lead with that par, but Frank, sometimes, and you know this as well as anyone, you just have to kind of maintain your footing out there. That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark. Second shot.
Leaves that one about 20 feet out from the cup. Nicely played shot. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no 2 ways about that. He's putting well.
With that birdie, moves 1 shot closer to the lead. Moving on to the par 4 6th hole here at the birthplace of golf. This hole shares a green actually with the 12. How do you work your way around this hole, Frank?
Some sort of tee shot. 3 bunkers that look like they're in the left center of the fairway and a series of bunkers down the right. So somehow bisect those and then you set yourself up to a green with a false front.
Our featured golfer setting up for another approach. Really needs to get something going here, Frank.
And that green right now must look like the size of a thimble.
Good looking shot right here. Boy, I'm reminded of what an old caddy used to say about the great Lanny Watkins when he was on fire. You can't hide the flagstick from that man. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
So they'll tap in. Good roll. Solid. That's a par. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present final round coverage of the Open Championship. Good contact, good result.
Rich, these players aren't getting a reprieve with the win right now.
And right from the start, the winds have been kicking pretty good.
Yeah, but at least it's presenting that challenge for the players that don't get every other day.
This will test the player. I mean, it's one thing to play with no wind in perfect conditions, but as we know, golf is a game of variables.
Yeah, and better strike will be rewarded today.
Steady all day long. That one about 20 feet away. He'll settle. Settles in over the putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just a couple of feet. He's made it. Frank, number 11, the Eden, is really one of the more fascinating holes in all of golf.
Yeah, the two bunkers that the players normally worry about, Strath bunker in the front and the Hill bunker to the left. What makes those two bunkers so difficult is the steepness of the faces. And
Frank, this one's not looking good.
yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Frank, that's what you want to do. Good lag putt.
Yeah, they can't all go in.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, from this vantage point here at the 12th, you can see why the old course, St. Andrews, are so iconic in the sport.
Yeah, this is a fun hole as we start to sort of head back to the village of St. Andrews. Hole's called Heathery. There's a big crop of heather on the left, and there's 4 little pot bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway, so you've really got to be cognizant of those. But good time to take the head cover off if you're a long hitter, and then you've only got to worry about that one pot bunker just short of the green.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie.
Well read.
Moving on now to the par 4 13th. Frank, what's the strategy here?
Once again, to avoid those pot bunkers, the first one is called Nicks, and then the other two up ahead, once again, they're called the Coffins. Somehow you've got to go right or left of those or beyond those. If you can go in the exact right position, which is slightly left center, you'll actually have a full view of this green. The left or right of that, then it's a blind second shot.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Par yesterday. Now for birdie.
You'd like that one again. Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work. More work than you had hoped for just to make the par. That's the idea. Just knock it in. Frank, you can actually play this 14th hole by taking a detour to another hole on the front side. Explain.
Yeah, that's the 4th hole. The 4th hole is adjacent to the 14th, and if you're in a little bit of trouble off the tee, there's nothing wrong with playing the 14th as a zigzag style par 5. So that means the drive, if it doesn't go down the right, you go further left and then back to the green. But it's a safer way, but a much longer option. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Count it. That's a birdie. Frank, one of the things I always loved about links golf is that you're not aiming at a flagstick or a tree, but sometimes you're aiming for a steeple in the distance, and this is a good example here at the 15th.
Yeah, the church steeple is the exact line off the tee. That gives you sort of the center of the fairway. Really, you don't have to be overly bold off the tee. This is about just finding a nice flat lie for that second shot, because this is another difficult green that's well protected by just one little bunker that's in the front left that you don't think comes into play. But if your second shot doesn't land the right distance, more often than not, it just gets swallowed up by that. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Getting set now over the putt. Well, very impressive and on the move right now. Headed for home now, partner. The 16th hole, and what are we looking at here?
Well, you have to avoid the principal's nose. Otherwise, you're going to finish up in the principal's office.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That was a solid strike and a good result. 11 feet away.
Good read, good line, well played.
Now at the 17th tee, and Frank, this is really when you begin to feel the weight and the history of the old course bearing down on you.
And you also feel the nerves as well, because you're having to hit it not just at a fairway or over a bush, but over the corner of an out of bounds. And you'll see there's a little sign up there that says Old Course and Country Club. So you've got to pick the exact letter for the line that you want to hit it across. Hit it down the right side. This hole certainly becomes shorter. Left, you find the left and short. You find the road hole bunker. A little right and long, and well, there's a chance of going out of bounds or on the road itself.
He's set up for his third shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. And he's made the green. Drops for a par. Frank, here at the 18th, so much history has been made through the years.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories, I remember, Jack Nicklaus when he beat Doug Sanders in that playoff. The famous sort of short putt that Doug Sanders missed. But really, the great moment that stands out was Seve making that 15-footer across the hill in 1984 wearing the blue sweater. Not only did he win the Open Championship, but he beat a tremendous field that included Bernard Langer, Tom Watson, Fred Couples, Lanny Wadkins, Faldo, and Greg Norman. It was an amazing Open Championship.
And I love that fist pump. It was pure Seve. All that fire, all that passion came flying out. And that's where you just sort of fell in love with the game. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Always love to hear the sound at the bottom of the cup. That'll put a wrap on our final round coverage for all of us at EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time. Frank, is there a more famous landmark in the sport than the tiny Swoken Bridge?
I think when you think of this game, the way in which we've followed it and covered it, Rich, over the last decade plus, no. It is just symbolic, not just with this golf course, but the game of golf itself, because every great champion has managed to make his foray across to Scotland and play the old course and walk across that bridge.